Hi, my name is Cassie Raney, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit about my journey. I started working out with Miranda in June of 2009, and I came to her in a very difficult time of my life where I had just given birth to my third child. I've got a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and an 8-month-old, so my life is basically revolves around them. I had begun to just lose all of myself and put everything I had into my children, my husband, and trying to juggle just being a wife and a mom and taking care of the house. And with all of that, I put myself on the back burner. To back it up a little bit, to kind of tell you where I've been, how I got to that place. I grew up in a home where my mom has been divorced many times. We had men, boyfriends of hers, coming in and out of our family, and just most of them were quite abusive to her. Several were abusive to me and my siblings, and so I endured some sexual abuse and physical abuse throughout my childhood, which led to, at about 13, I was fairly overweight, very depressed, as you can imagine, not really sure what who I was, who God was in general. I felt like He had abandoned me, and so I grew up as a teenager, basically hating myself, hating who I was, who I had become, and not really understanding the life, the joy that God had intended for me. I went on in high school. I ended up being abused again by a boy that I had been dating, which sent me just into a very deep depression where I deliberately began to sabotage my own self as far as eating. I began eating just to fill a void. I felt like I was unworthy to be loved. I felt ugly. I felt unlovable. And so the only comfort I had was food. So I began to really put on a lot of weight. It was a very hard struggle for me because I was also a ballet dancer, and that's a very difficult position to be in when you're dancing and supposed to have the ideal image of what a ballet dancer is supposed to look like. And so after several comments from ballet teachers, I actually developed an eating disorder where I would starve myself just so that I could gain the control of my weight. And what I realized is that it truly was just a way to gain control in my life. It wasn't about the weight. It was about gaining control because I had no control. So that went on for a good 6 months, and I just broke. I was at a very, very low place in my life, and I could not keep that up anymore. So I realized that I had to make some changes in my life. I moved to another college, and I quit dancing because I needed to get out of that environment for my own personal well-being. So I went through college, finished college, got married, was doing fairly well in the aspect that I was not really dealing with a lot of my past. I was just going day to day, and I was happy, but I just hadn't dealt with anything. When I got married, began to love my husband and put him before me, and then we had children quickly into our marriage, and the cycle just continued. I put my kids before me. That brings me to kind of where I met Miranda was at the end of June. I had just had my third baby, and I thought, I'm miserable. I was at the heaviest point I'd ever been at, and I met Miranda, and she said, hey, you should come. I'm offering this class. You should come work out. And I thought, well, I know I need to work out. And so I went, but I did not really work out, I would say. For the first couple weeks, I went and I huffed and I puffed and I kind of watched more than I worked out, probably. But but it sparked something inside me where I started seeing these other women truly changing their lives. And it wasn't just on the physical aspect, it was on the inside. They were beginning to really overcome obstacles and conquer fears that they had. You have to come to a place where you get so fed up with the life that you're living and where you're at that there is nowhere else to go but up. And that's where I found myself. I began to really take an introspective look at myself, at my past, the abuse that I endured. I think I had pushed it down pretty deep and hadn't wanted to deal with any of that for a long time. And so I started really unpacking some of those things and unpacking some of just my own fears and anxieties. What I realized was the weight that I was carrying was simply just a sign of what was on the inside. I began to eat healthy and take care of my body, and began to work out, put all of my effort into those workouts. It's been about almost 7 months of working out with Miranda, and I've lost a total of 52 pounds with her, and gone down from a size 16 to a size 4, and I am excited about living life now. I think I have told myself a lot of lies. A lot of my lies truly centered around the fact that I was not worthy. With the abuse that I endured, I simply had a lot of guilt, a lot of I did something to deserve this, therefore I don't deserve to be happy. There's something wrong with me. There's something ugly in me for someone to make someone want to do those things to me. And as I got older and older, I continued to expound on those lies where even in my marriage, I thought, oh, my husband really can't love me. I'm unlovable. I'm unworthy. And so I would push him away. And I think that had a lot to do with the weight. I felt that if I could just form a barrier around myself, I would be protected and no one could hurt me. I had a lot of lies in my head that people, there is no good in people, which is really sad. But I had that in my mind that I would let people only come so close, and I have realized that is not the case at all. That people can hurt people, but there are some amazing people in this world who want to help us, and that's what finding those people. Our workout group has been amazing because it's a group of women who encouraged me, and through all of the trials and through all of the times where I did not want to continue, they encouraged me to keep going and to remember why I was doing what I was doing.